his neck down when he feels my spurs. Do that right from the beginning. That's going to help when we start going to lift off and stuff. 2-year-olds, that's a really hard thing for them to learn at first because we spend all those months kicking them forward off of our legs. Teaching them that all that means is go forward, go forward, go forward. And all of a sudden we teach them, no, when we wrap our spurs around you, that means pick your back up and drop your neck. So I do a lot of this walk and trot, just reiterating that because it can be confusing for them. So that's another reason why, especially on that left knee, he'll feel a little bit strung out because he still is getting that. Your leg means drop my neck and pick up my back, not just go forward. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's just the point that they all get to in their training. Like I was talking about the other day, how this way, I'll pick up this inside rein a little, and I'll come up and over. See how his nose is going that way, but I'm asking him to move out? Do that, and then that's when I'm also going to add my outside leg there a little bit. And I'll just start asking him to set up. See how he kind of puts his hip in just a little bit? I do that also. That's a really good exercise to spend a lot of time doing it, not walking and trot. That will help your load without exhausting him. Does that make sense? So that he gets the idea, because he's still, when he feels that outside leg, he's a whole lot better about it. He's like, that just means I need to step forward. Not, okay, now his brain has to start processing, oh wait, no, that means I need to pick my shoulders up and step my hip in. We'll do a little bit of that, and then just stop, work his neck down, and then release and let him go again. Repetition, repetition, repetition.
So if he does something bad,
If what?
if he does something bad, if he does something wrong, what do you do to tell him that that was wrong?
It depends on what he's done. If when I use my leg, he wants to stiffen up and pick his neck up and go forward, I'll just kind of work his neck down and I'll keep my legs there. Not get any stronger, just keep my legs there and make him work his neck down and just get in the correct position. And then as soon as he gets there, then I'll release.
Okay.
It's more in the release than it is in the discipline. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Mainly, I'll just keep doing exactly what I'm doing. And if he gets a little stiff, I'll come in a little quick with my leg and I'll show you because he'll probably lift his neck. I'll show you exactly what I do. So if I'm dropping around and I don't really have him in the bridle and I come in with my leg, see how he wants to pop up and low off? I didn't want that. So I just keep my leg there and I just work his neck down. I just keep it there until he goes, oh, you just wanted me to step my hip. Make sense?
Yes.
I let him make that mistake and then I just kind of said, no, that's not what we wanted to do. And I work his neck down and I'll keep there. And see, that time you let me lift my leg there, you kept it solid together.
So how does he know the difference? You sound great, except for that cough.
What?
You sound great except for that cough.
Yeah, no. It's that one of those colds that just won't go away.
So how does he know the difference between getting his hip in and loping off?
I'll kiss to him when I want him to lope off.
Aha.
When you lope off, that's why I said, you need to kiss. Give him a little bit of a vocal cue. Because when I set him up like this, up here, I'll set him up and I'm going to lope him off. So I'm going to set him up. And if he goes to get a little bit stiff or want to lift his neck, I'll just keep jogging along. See, as soon as I have that kiss, then he learns to know, oh, it's okay to step off.
Are you working his head down there?
No. should, as long as I have his body. He won't do it forever, you know. But when I start to get crooked, and kind of want to pick up his speed a little bit, all I do is use my inside rein and outside leg just a little.
Okay.
See? So it's not so much of trying to keep him there, okay? It's getting him comfortable that he can just lope like that and carry himself, and he'll carry you. That's how they get really broke. Does that make sense? He needs to, and then if he, he gets a little out of whack, which is going to happen, you just need to come in a little bit of outside leg, a little bit of inside rein, get that shape. See how I just shape him just like that? And then as soon as he goes, if he starts to lift, I'll bump a little with this outside rein, and then I'll let him go. And get him to just learn to just carry himself. Same thing the other way. And I do a lot, mess around with, he knows how to turn a little bit. Like for the horsemanship, you can mess around with all that stuff. It just helps get their body broke free this way. A little bit more forward. Again, that comes from that direction. Loping, he wants to be a little bit, get a little bit stuck. When he gets stuck, that's what he'll do. He'll kind of just freeze and go, I don't really know what you want me to do. Add my leg to him. There. And just pull. I always use my leg to back. Always.
Both legs?
Yes, a little bit of both legs, just because I like them to really learn to keep your back up when you back up, not just back up hollow. So if ever you are backing him up and you can't figure out why he's wanting to get up here, stop for a second, frame him up, use your legs, and you just cluck and just soft ask with your hands. Does that make sense?
Yes. Can he turn using his back end only? How do I say that? Yeah.
And when I do that with the babies, how I teach them, I'll pull his nose a little this way to help him free up that hip, just because it helps him a little bit. This way he's better off this left leg.
Nicely done.
So yeah, they learn all of that stuff, and I'm going to help you do a little bit of all of that when we get on him, because it's good to know. Like if you're having an issue, when I'm having an issue loping him off, I'll just try to take his nose this way and just set him weight and just ask him to press off my leg like that. I don't want it to be fast. I just want him to move away from pressure. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's not about, I want you to whip around and know that you've done something, but it's like, no, when I put my leg there, you need to move away from the pressure.
Are you tapping or are you holding constant pressure?
I am holding constant pressure, except if I feel him get a little bit nervous, I'll release and then come back in. Release, come back in, release, there. And actually, now that I'm going over it in my head so much more, usually once they take a step, I'll release a little and then go back in.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So they know, like I said, it's all in the release. Your release time and their reward time that teaches them. So when they move that step, they get a little release, and if you want them to go some more, add it again. You don't have to totally stop every time, but they need some sort of release to go, oh, that was right. And really when I'm working his face, it's not so much that I really want him to get down in his neck. I want him to get soft and give him his chin like this for right now, because when I have his chin right there, I can stand his shoulders up and he lopes off more properly. If you just go and you get down here and you just work their neck down, they'll fall forward on their front end and you'll get more of a kind of trophy kind of look. Does that make sense to you?
Too heavy on the front.
Too heavy, yeah, exactly. So you'll see, like with him, he wants to be really level with his neck. You saw when I just dropped him, he doesn't want to get too low. He wants to just kind of stay even. That is very, very, very good. So I just want to make sure that when I pick up and I pull and I use my leg, get on him, you'll feel that as soon as if I say, no, that's not going to be good, mainly because I see him pushing on that bridle, and that first step is going to be pulling with his front end and not pushing with his back end. Just have to figure out that feel. And again, it comes from, I'm going to sit here and wait with my outside leg, put it on just a little bit, and then I'm going to kiss.
Was he getting too slow there?
No, he's actually really good right here. I will push him like right there. He wants to get a little slow. Like this.
You're speeding him up through the corners.
Just a little bit.
Right.
I feel it get a little soggy. Yeah, like I like right there.
And he is tracking a little on the hind end to the inside. How does that?
Yeah.
Do you anticipate that ever changing? That he's going to be.
Yeah. When they learn how to, first they have to learn how to hold themselves together like that. We can kick their hip over a little bit to help them, learn. Okay, when I step up stronger with that inside hind leg, my lope gets better, and they leave me alone. Once they get broker and I know, okay, I can lope him 4, 5, 6, 7 circles and leave him just like that, then I'll go to more straight lines and I'll work on standing him straight up and pushing him straight through. Okay. But he has to learn the basics first. They have to have a little bit of that push my hip over first. You don't want to over-exaggerate it. Like he almost gets a little too much sometimes this way. That will go away. You just have to spend, and I'll spend more time fixing that through his shoulders. Do a lot of steering, make his shoulders come, and kind of have to think of him like a truck and a trailer. You steer their shoulders where you want them to go. Eventually that hind end has to go with them. So if you feel like he's getting a little too to the inside with his hip, just steer his front end around and get him stood up and straight, and then send him off in a straight line, and all of a sudden you'll go, oh, okay, his back end is up back underneath him. That's how I fix that problem. Does that kind of make sense to you?
So not just a circle.
Yeah, I mean, the circle is, I always start all of mine on a circle because you can get them in the correct position. You can, like I said, help them. It helps them learn how to lope properly. If you feel like they're getting too bent, then I'll do a little steer, a little circle, and then send them off in a straight line. Little circle, send them off in a straight line until that straight line starts to get where they're like, oh, I can do this, and you can lope in a straight line all the way down the pen. Then they're ready to go on the rail. Okay? Those are kind of the steps. You don't want to get them out there on that fence too early and ask them to carry you around and be a show horse before they even know what they're doing. So, first step is the circle, get them to hold themselves and just carry themselves around. Then some straight lines, up and down the pen, make sure they can carry themselves in a straight line. Then you can start asking them a little something on that rail.
When he stops, he's very, he almost does a reining stop.
Uh-huh.
I know that's how you stop him. I know I can't do that.
Oh, you can.
I don't know. But when he's standing there, he's very, he's less than he was a minute ago.
Yeah.
But is that normal? How do you get him to frame up a little bit better when
to be honest with you, sometimes that's just a baby 2-year-old thing. They're still getting used to having us and our weight up here. They're still getting used to figuring out how to wear it. It's comfortable for them to carry your weight. Walk him up. At the end of the week, his back may be a little tired. See what he does.
Oh, there he's. Oh. He was square and then he took a step back.
Yeah.
So he's a Tennessee walker.
It's just probably just a little bit.